Okay, guys, it is Wednesday wisdom. I don't really know what you're expecting from me tonight, but hopefully you haven't set the bar too terribly high. You know, I got to start with a joke. I am super excited. Some of you are getting on. Andrea reached out early this morning. She is in Romania, and that is a completely different time zone than here. I actually thought she was like in France because the last picture I saw was the Eiffel Tower. And I was like, it's 12 o'clock. I know she's not up right now. But then I found out she was in Romania, totally different time zone. And I did reach out to Kimberly Brecka. Y'all all know her. She is a total rock star up in Michigan. And I wanted her to come on and kind of share with us about the promotion they rolled out Monday night on the corporate call. So if you don't understand promotions and how important they are for your business, now is the time to pay attention and get excited about a promotion. When the company offers a promotion, this is how Summer Symonds has hit every pin rank in her business probably since the beginning of time, because promotions can create so much excitement in your organization. It can help you find those who really want to go to work, and it's just like usually free money, free incentive, free lifestyle credits. They are just throwing more stuff at us. Our company is already off the charts good. So when they start throwing more goodies at you, you need to go run with it. So without further ado, Kimberly Brecka is like one of the most detail oriented, organized people I know, besides my fiery little redhead I'm going to bring on in a minute. She amazes me every time I reach out to her. Like, I want to collaborate with her all the time because she is so great at organizing and pushing things to her team. And we all know that being organized helps the success rate go through the roof. So I asked her to jump on, share with us what the promo is. So if you missed the call Monday night, I haven't actually seen the recording shared, or if you just need tips and tricks on how to use this promo in your business to go grow, she's going to give you her game plan. She already kind of told me hers today, and I thought it was excellent for her to share with you guys tonight. So, Miss Kimberly, can you take it from here, dear?
I absolutely can take it from here. Thank you, Summer. You're so kind. I'm a little humbled right now. Um, I'm Kimberly Brecka. I'm from Big Rapids, Michigan. And yes, we have snow on the ground right now. So I'm going to jump right in. I'm going to share my screen. I got very excited about this. Let's see if it'll come up the way I want it to. Come on. There we go. So let's do the present and see. Can you see that okay? Awesome. Oh, come on now.
Kimberly, I can't see it.
You can't see it? Okay.
We've got a white screen right now.
White
Okay.
screen.
Hold that thought and we'll try her again. Nothing like a little technical fun.
Now we've got a slideshow in Canva.
Awesome. I'm going to put present so it will be full screen. We're going to talk about the full throttle leveling up. So if you were not on the call on Monday night, I'm going to really quick go through the slides that they did, and then I'm going to tell you what we're going to do as a team, and I think it's going to work. So starting March 24th, and this goes through April 30th, so about 5 weeks. So really what we're going to do is we're going to shoot for about 4 weeks because we want to give ourselves a little wiggle room, right? And the purpose of this full throttle leveling up is to build towards ultimate, because there is a stat out there, and we will find it and we'll share it with you, of the number of people who reach ultimate. There's a large percentage. If you can reach ultimate, you can reach senior officer. So we will find that and we will share that with you. And we're going to drive towards PXP. So that's 6 months for us. We're going to drive volume. And what does volume do? It helps us. It helps the people above us. It helps people above them. It helps the people from below us going up. So volume is really important, which then in turn affects all of our paychecks. Now, I'm gonna move this so I can see. All right, so there's 3 levels here. There's 3 different criteria for this reaching ultimate. So we have any new brand partner who enrolls on or after March 24th, so these are brand spanking new, has until April 30th to qualify with 1,500 PV. And that's a little bit longer if you think about it than our 4 Fridays. By helping them get to ultimate 1,500 PV, they are going to get 600 lifestyle credits, which is double what the normal is. And they're going to earn a free ticket to PXP. So we're recruiting. Step number 1, we're recruiting. Okay. Step number 2, we're looking at our existing brand partners who are not ultimate yet. So anyone who is enrolled before March 24th and has not reached ultimate, we're going to help them. And what's going to happen by helping them? They're going to earn the ultimate status, which of course locks in their 30% discount and their 15% commission and their 30% new volume. There's a lot of other reasons you want to reach ultimate. Those are the main ones. They're going to get 3,000 lifestyle credits, and they're going to earn a free ticket to Dallas PXP. Now, those tickets are not transferable, but if you already bought one, I don't know if anybody's on here who needs to hear this or who shouldn't hear this. If you've already bought one, the one that you have is transferable. So don't let this stop you from trying just because you already have a ticket. I already have a ticket. That's okay. And then the third is those of us who are at ultimate are going to help at least 3 personally sponsored, so your first generation brand partners get to ultimate, whether they're brand new or whether we're leveling them up. And by doing that, we get 6,000 lifestyle credits. And what do lifestyle credits do? They get us these amazing trips like Punta Cana. Sadly, I'm very sad. I cannot go. I'm very sad. I cannot take this trip. However, I do have the points there, and I earned them by doing things like this. And then also I can earn a free ticket to Dallas PXP. Now, how am I going to do this? First of all, the first one I said, oh, there were some frequently asked questions. So she said, can I level up? Can I place my level up volume in depth to help someone qualify? Nope, not doing that. Can I place level up volume under personal customers and earn new volume bonus? Yes, that would be fine. And as an upline, can any combination of 3 ultimates count? Yes. So you can have new brand partners or you can level them up. However that works, any of that is fine. Now, how are we going to do this? So you're going to actively recruit. Remember, we've been talking about that a lot recently. You are going to be doing some reach outs, be doing some follow-ups. We're going to actively recruit brand new brand partners. We're going to get them on 3-way calls and Zooms, and we are going to get them recruited and get them started, and we are going to train them and help them get to ultimate. That's the first section. The next section is those that need to level up. And how are you going to know? You are going to go to your organization report in your back office. It's under reports in your menu from your dashboard. And there's a lot of different ways you can filter it. There's a little button for filter in the top right-hand corner. You can filter it, or you can just look at everybody in your org report, in your organization. And underneath their name, there's a lot of information. And one of the pieces of information, that's my last slide. So I'm going to stop sharing so I can see you all. I miss you. So once you print those out or bring them up on your screen, under their name, it tells what they are. So don't go out and try and count all the point value that they have. You don't need to do that. Go out and look at where they are right now. So they're either a member or they're an ultimate, or they're a business or they're elite. If they're a member, they need to get 1,300 more points. If they're business, they need to get 1,000 more points. And if they're elite, they need to get 500 more points. So you are going to work with them. And what are they going to be doing? They're going to be reaching out to customers, old customers, brand partners who are not working or don't have a subscription in place. They're going to be trying to build that volume. So by working with those people in your organization and helping them level up, and this is going to take some time, and you're going to have to put a little effort into it, but that's what these promotions do. And we all work together. And think of On top of all of the good stuff, right, that comes with leveling up, think of how this is going to bring your team together, because you're all going to be working together. And so you're going to really have a lot of opportunity to build your team as well, not just the number, but the quality. So, Summer, that's what I have.
Thank you so much, Kimberly. When I reached out to her today, I was like, I know she will have her ducks in a row. Mine are more like squirrels running all over the place. I mean, if you hadn't picked that up about me. Now, I do get organized. I just haven't had time. All boys are on spring break. There's 3 of them. If you saw my arm, I've been injured by a tree today in a dodgeball game. Like, I took a time out between Zooms to play dodgeball and nearly lost my life. But guys, this promo is amazing. Like, she went over the rules and some of the FAQs. So one thing I would kind of point out is, yes, if you're wanting lifestyle credits for yourself, go get your 3 ultimates, but that doesn't need to hold you back from helping somebody get to ultimate. If you need to give away some volume to help somebody get to ultimate who's this close and kind of struggling, still give it to them. If you get them to ultimate, I'm the one who's flubbed on the stat. I cleaned out my notebook and I think I threw it away. But we had an officers club luncheon in Birmingham, and Dan Colley told us, he said the percentage of people who get to golden ultimate, the stat of them hitting senior officer was crazy through the roof. I want to say it's like over 80% of people who go senior officer have hit golden ultimate. And if the faster they do it, the better, because they're making that top pay. So it is our job to get that new person to that level. Second, the biggest thing out of this is you're getting free lifestyle credits. Great. We bank those, they add up for our trips, but you're getting a ticket to PXP. I have my tickets. I may have multiple tickets, okay? But I'm going to go after the promo because I do know what that little ticket can do for somebody. So if you don't know, when I went to PXP the first time, Brent Palmer put an investment into Summer Symonds. He rented I say it's a party house. It felt like we were in a frat house. There were 18 rooms in the house. We all had our own rooms. Y'all, some of those people I'm still not sure about. They're not, whether they got in or not. We had the best time. We laughed, we karaoke, but it created a bond. And one of the people in in that house was Mary Catherine Ewing. We did not know each other, and I was pretty sure we had scarred her for life. And look at where she is now. You do not know what getting someone to an event will do. I wasn't sure I wanted to do it. Mary Catherine probably was really questioning her sanity for going into a house blindly with strangers, which I knew a lot of them in the house. But guys, it changed our lives completely, completely. So this free ticket, yes, you may have to use it for yourself, but the one you've already purchased can be transferred, and you never know who's the hungry single mom that can't afford the ticket that needs the ticket. And it may just rock her world. You just don't know. So I will find out what that stat is. I will text Dan Colley tonight or in the morning, and I will make sure that it goes in Partner Co Nation so that you can see that statistic on what going golden ultimate could do for your business. It is huge. Thank you again, Kimberly, for sharing all of your plans. Guys, here's the thing. It's easy to do, but it's also easy not to do. It's easy to pull up. Some of you may have 5 people in your downline. Some of you may have 500. Some of you may have 5,000. But you've got to start somewhere. If you've got 5,000 and you need to start with 5 a day and delegate and get some help through your organization, do it. If you have 500, you still need to delegate and get some help and set some goals and hold each other accountable. If you have 5 people, tell your upline. If it's me, if it's Kimberly, if it's Renee, if it's Andrea, say, I got 5 people. I need to get them to ultimate. I'm reaching out. Hold me accountable to make sure I reach out. Whatever it is you need to do, that is key to growing your business. You're your own boss, but sometimes we need that partnership to make sure that we're getting the job done because it's easy not to do. All right. So next up, if you were not in Birmingham, Alabama for the Connect event, You missed a treat, I will tell you. So, if you were in Birmingham at the Connect event, would you put a one in the chat? I want to see how many people were actually in Birmingham and got to hear Renee speak from stage. So, if you don't know, Renee joined me in the last company when we were in Limu, and she had a lot of personal growth to do over time. It was not her knack anything. Like, I did not think she wanted anything to do with me when I left from showing her what we were doing. And now when people hear the story of how much Renee has transformed her life in this industry, they are just blown away because she is like this little ray of sunshine. I call her my fiery redhead because she is just so much fun to be around. But what she's great at is teaching people. And so I took her with me to Puerto Rico to meet John and Darren last November. And while we were there, I had everybody create vision boards. Like, I went to Walmart and bought poster boards and markers and glue sticks and kids' scissors. Like, well, you should have seen us trying to use the kitty scissors, but we shed so many tears. Like, we cried like it was a group meeting, like, so much crying. But one of the things she put on her board was that she wanted to speak in front of people. And so Andrea and I had talked about it, Brent and I had talked about it, and we knew we could get her on stage in Birmingham. And Brent and I talked, he said, "What do you think she needs to train on?" And I'm like, "She can train on anything because she's great at everything, because she is an overachiever. You give her something to do, she's going to go work really hard because she wants to do the best she can." And so today I texted her, I said, "I want us to take kind of the flavor of our team call where we help people be better versions of themselves." Because what you don't know is it kind of came full circle. And right before this little skinny drop business showed up, I went through some of the hardest times in my life. And she would spend hours a day on the phone with me, coaching me through getting to the other side. Y'all, I am not kidding. I'm talking 6 hours some days. Like, I have probably a counselor bill I should send her of like $1 million at this point. But what this industry has done in both of our lives is completely changed the people we are. Not that we were bad people, but we are so much stronger. We are so much more confident. We're more driven. We're more dedicated. We're more disciplined. We think differently. We have totally changed everything. And so today, when I called her, I said, "What do we want to talk about?" And we kind of bumbled around a few ideas. And she sent me a text and said, "I'm going to talk about the three C's." And I bet you don't know what the three C's are, because I read the text out loud to Jonathan and he said, "What are the three C's?" And I said, "I guess you'll have to see." So, without further ado, Miss Renee Smith is from Birmingham, Alabama, and she is going to rock your world tonight. So, take it away, Miss Renee.
Oh, what a buildup. Oh my goodness. Thank you for even inviting me. This is awesome. So yeah, I've learned a lot about the power of positive thinking over the years, and I'm made a ton of bad decisions while I was getting myself figured out. But the good thing about me is that I am a rule follower and I learn from other people's mistakes. Okay, so that saves a lot of time. So a lot of my negative thinking that I had way back when was the result of being in an abusive situation for about 14 years. And I don't think it matters if you've been abused or if you've experienced some type of trauma. It warps your thinking. So in my situation, I learned to be very focused on myself because I was in self-protection mode. Can anybody relate to that? So tonight, what I want to share with you is 3 deadly C's that are closely tied to negative thinking. So early on, I just couldn't understand why things weren't working out for me. Why were people quitting? Well, it might have been because I was so critical of everyone. So that's the first C. I policed how my team invited. I policed how they did a party. I policed how they enrolled people. My way was the best way. I mean, I'd only been in 2 months, but my way was the best way. Well, what I learned that I needed to do was quit focusing on everybody else. I need to focus on the system. I need to be posting on at 9 and 3. That's what I need to focus on. I need to focus on sharing every opportunity that I have. I need to be focusing on following up with my customers and bragging on my team. And you know what? If I focus on that, I don't have time to be too critical of other people. So I need to make sure that whatever I'm doing is duplicatable. So the second C is complaining. I had the terrible habit of fault finding and complaining. Nobody wants to be around a complainer, but that's sure what I was. Nobody on my team's doing anything, Summer. Why isn't she calling me back? I messaged her, I texted her, I called her, and she's ignoring me. Well, I tried to control every situation. I was practically stalking people that I prospected. And I mean, my upline too. I was trying to get answers to questions that I should have been asking corporate. Or you know what? If I'd just been on the team call, I would have gotten the answers because they gave the answers on the team call. So what I finally learned to do is relax and take initiative. What a novel idea. Take initiative to take advantage of the training resources available, like the IPA call and the team call and whatever drop talks are nearby, or Super Saturdays or Connect events or PXP events. All of these things are available to us if we just take advantage of it. You'll learn a lot that way. Well, I quit waiting to be spoon-fed. So I focused on looking for the next person to share with. I focused on my hundreds name list. I focused on sharing with other people. How many people have you shared with today? How many people have you shared with this week? How many people have you shared with this month? Just run the system and do not be emotionally tied to the results. Think of it like a deck of cards. There's 52 cards in the deck, right? What if I told you I would give you $1,000 for every ace in that card, in that deck of cards? If I flip over the first card and the first card's a jack, are you going to break out crying? No, you're going to flip the next card. What if the next card is a 2? Is that going to be devastating to you? No, you're probably going to get excited because you know that you're getting even closer to that ace. So do not get emotionally attached to a no when you're sharing your story, when you're sharing what we have. Just flip the next card. Just go to the next one. I promise you, if you will save your emotional connection to the yeses, yeah, that's when you're going to be way better off. So my last C is being aware. Let me start over. My last C is beware of being cocky. So if you think you're the best team builder, if you think you're the most effective speaker, if you brag about all your new brand partners, if you brag about all the people on your team, or if you talk down to other teams about whatever, you better watch out. In the Bible, 1 Corinthians 10:12 says, "Let him who thinks he stand take heed lest he fall." So that's something to think about. You know what? We're not in the business of tearing people down in Partner Co. We're in the business of building people up. So whether they're on your team, it doesn't matter, or my team or somebody else's team, my suggestion is just to keep your blinders on and make yourself available to help anybody who needs it. So consistent, persistent repetition of the basics is how you reach your goals. So be grateful. John and Darren has given us an amazing opportunity to help a lot of people. So be grateful. And the last thing, think the best of others. And if you want to be in competition with somebody, the best competition is always with yourself. So thanks, Summer.
Awesome job, Renee. It's funny. we think so much alike, and probably because we've coached each other so much throughout our life. We've been besties pretty much since 2012, about a week after I had my oldest kid. And I wrote down some of the notes on things she said. Okay, we got our 3 C's, but it's funny. I went back and wrote down, you need to focus on what you can control. If you don't know, Renee was one of the first ones I called about drops. Outside of Renee and Chastity Smith, who's on here, I didn't reach out to people about doing this business with me except those 2 girls. And Renee was like, okay, you have fun with that. And I was like, I wanted you to do this with me, but I didn't say that. I didn't get mad. But you know what I went and did? I went and took those drops and dropped 24 pounds. I went and started making a paycheck. Do you realize that's a much bigger motivator to get her and Chastity's attention than to complain or beg or say, well, you're just going to keep working that day job? It's not going to go over well. So the best thing you can do is focus on what you can control. Next, those 3 negative C words. How much time do you spend in that area? If you're griping about your team, if you're griping about who spoke on the team call, if you're griping about how somebody acted at a party or how bad the party is, what are you not doing? You're not spending your time scheduling your posts. You're not spending your time doing Zooms. You're not spending your time actively prospecting. And how much money is it costing you? That's what you've got to realize. Energy is going to bring back energy. If you heard the coach's corner this morning, oh shoot, I just blanked on what the word was. But it basically went back to law of attraction. Yeah, Kimberly, what's the word? Were you on there? No? What was the word? Uh, you forgot it too. Okay, that makes me feel better. But it was basically like law of
It's not there.
attraction. Yeah, it's like on the tip of my tongue, but it's like the energy you put out is what you're going to attract back. So if you're focusing on the good stuff, if you're focusing on what you can control, the game changes because they're going to follow the leader. You've heard one bad apple spoils the bunch. If you're focusing on positive, if you're focusing on, oh, I'm so excited, look at all the Zooms I'm doing. You may be doing 2 Zooms this week, but it's 2 more than you did last week. So get excited. She thought of the word
Gravitate.
gravitate. That's it. I knew it was a G word. So it's going to gravitate back towards you. Well, and the more excitement that you put out in the universe, the more energy that you're revolving around that, the more that's going to come back to you. And you know what? When you're positive and you're spunky and you're excited, I'll tell you a funny. Y'all know we say be excited, be out of breath when you're talking. There are divots in my sidewalk. Ask Patty. She's my neighbor. She stops all the time. My living room. The other night, Jonathan was like, I was like, what? And he said, you're getting out of breath. This is a health and wellness company. I was like, it's because I'm excited. And do you know how many people are like, I just love your excitement? He was like, you're out of breath in a health and wellness company. I said, but it's a tactic. It's exciting. People don't have that in their life. So I can control that. And don't be the smartest person at the table. You've heard Brent and Todd say that on the IPA. I can tell you all day, every day, I am not the smartest person at the table. I am not the smartest person at 6 tables. And even if the person training is somebody maybe that gets on your nerves a little, or maybe it's somebody that you know has mistreated somebody on your team, if you follow my Facebook, it's like you can always find the joy. There's always something good. God always puts the good out there. So even if it's somebody that's like, oh, do we have to listen to them again? You may be feeling that right now with me. I don't really care. I'm excited. You're going to find something good you can go use. Even the worst trainers and the most boring people, sometimes something will just click. Or maybe you just look at them and go, they're terrible at team calls and training and they make this much money. There's your positive. Focus on like I can do this and I can totally go make a really good paycheck. If Summer can make as good as she is, I am set for life. And then the last thing Renee came back to, if you're going to compete, compete against yourself. So I mentioned last year that I started an IPA journal. It's an income producing activity journal, and it's kind of a twist on something Brent Palmer did years ago when we built Limu together. And it's just where he wrote down his activity every day and held himself accountable. Well, I started last year, and then I told him, I said, I've just kind of made this little checklist. Well, they had me train on it in Panama City. Well, now Brent's has evolved. Brent actually brought this up, I think, when we were in Destin, maybe again. But this year I shifted it to my calendar, and I'm putting it in my calendar as I'm contacting people. So it is right there all together, and I can see, was yesterday or today better? Was last week better or this week better? I don't get on the call and compare myself to Michelle McKay or Crystal or Ashley or any of them, or Brent Palmer or Susan Frank. I've got to look at what I'm doing because I came in at a different time as them. I have a different life than they do. I got 2, 3 little kids here. Some of them have grown kids. There's just a different season for them. And so all I can gauge is my activity against the previous day's activity. So, like Renee said, relax, take initiative, have some fun, put good stuff in first thing in the morning, put good stuff in last thing at night, whether it's reading or audio, and learn from it. Learn something you can go use to get excited because people want the excitement. At the end of the day, they're excited about changing their health. They're excited about changing their financial situation. If they're not, they need to check their pulse if they come anywhere within like 3 feet of me, maybe 6 feet, because I'm telling you, this is the one, guys. This is the one where you can change your entire trajectory from now till forever for generations to come if you will just do the work. Stop worrying about the petty stuff. I coached girls basketball and I never allowed it. I don't do it on my team. And we're going to go dominate what we're doing because we just think about the good. And some of the girls have said, I don't want what you do. You're just so busy. And I said, some of that is just what I'm projecting. I literally have bandages. Like I took time to go play with my kids every day. We've gone to the trampoline park, but the image and the energy I put out, I'm trying to look like Brent Palmer. I mean, like obsessive, but it's just the energy. And so put out there what you want to get back. If you want to get back good, exciting, growing teammates, then you have to be that. That is what they're going to follow. I promise you all day, every day. Your kids do as they see you do, not as you tell them to do. And the last thing I'll say is I've made my kids start listening to motivational stuff on the way to school in the morning. And I've been taking notes. And my oldest the other day goes, Mom, are you taking notes so you can use this against us when we get negative? And I just grinned in the rearview mirror. And I'm like, maybe, you know? And Renee, she knows that I tell my boys 90 times a day, worry about yourself. And Jonathan's got to where he says it kind of gangster, worry about yourself. Like, and it's kind of like a funny thing, but it's just a constant reminder. And that's what we've got to remember too. So hopefully that little fly by the seat of your pants, Wing It Wednesday was worth it to you, worth your time. I appreciate you being here. And Andrea should be back next week. I think they come back. I don't know. If not, somebody else will be here. Maybe. I don't know. But y'all have an awesome week. And I can't wait to